They say practice makes perfect, and I've actually heard of somebody else say that practice makes permanent. But if you're a musician like myself, practice in general is not necessarily a bane to our existence, but it's not something we happily get up every day to do. And if you're a musician, you can admit the truth. Would admit the truth and shame the devil. Today's video, I want to react or re-react to a video I saw by Victor Wooten, expressing some of the same sentiment. And mind you, if you know Victor, Victor is a stalwart in the bass community, in the music community overall. You understand? He's talented. All his brothers are talented, like, you know. But without further ado, I want to get into it. But first, welcome back. Welcome to the channel if you're new. My name is Lyndon Johnson. I am a child of God, a husband, father, aspiring musician, gaming enthusiast, and tech enthusiast. And this content on this channel is going to be a mixture of all three, actually. But yeah, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we're going to hop into it. Then we get into the meat of the discussion.
Practicing. Yeah. Many of you have heard me say that I don't like practicing. And it's true, I don't. But don't take that to mean that I don't practice. Now, you can tell I've practiced a lot. But what I like doing more than practicing is playing. In the same way that you learn how to talk, not through sitting down and practicing. You learn how to talk by talking with people. From birth, you talk to people. Well, for me, from the birth of playing music when I was about 2, I always had people to play with, right? Because if you want to learn to swim, you can practice in your bedroom all you want, but you don't know if you can really swim until you get in the water. So you can practice your instrument all you want by yourself, but you don't know if your timing is good, if your tone is good, if the notes that you're playing are right for the song. You don't know that unless you play with people. And I get a chance to teach at Berkeley and other places, and I tell that to the students a lot, because the number one problem that I see, if I can call it a problem, the number one problem that I see with people in this era, in the 2000s, this generation, is that we practice by ourselves. I see too many people sitting in front of a computer or with a book. That's good. But again, I can learn how to speak language with an app, Duolingo, or a book. But I don't know if I'm getting rid of my accent unless I speak with people, native people. So play with people, especially if you're in a college like Berkeley College of Music or Miami or Texas or anywhere. Even if you're just living in a neighborhood, there are people that you should be playing with. Find them and jam. You will grow 4 times as fast. 4 times? No, I don't think that's right. At least 5 times as fast if you play with people. Here's my recipe. Practice a little, play a lot. Practicing, my friend, that's the key. All right, let's get to it.
There's so much to unpack in what he said in just that, I think, like maybe a minute and a half. But there's so much to unpack from what he said. He said he was been playing since he's 2. I didn't have that luxury. But the meat and crux of what I want to get to is something about he said about playing with people. And I remember, I think it was sometime last year, maybe early last year or something, I made a post on Instagram, like stories, that like I learned, and I'm to paraphrase, I learn better when I'm in a live situation. I learn and I grow as a musician when I'm able to play with people, like he said, on a constant basis and doing it live. And however, that hasn't been the case for me in the past couple of years. One, I was at a church where I didn't get to play bass at all. I had to play drums, and like there wasn't any like room for growth. Even like I even expressed interest in playing the piano, and like it was basically shut down most of the time. And then I would try whenever my friends, their churches are having services. And mind you, again, I was still like fresh on the bass. Like I I was a bit out of the rudiment stage, but I wasn't as fluent as I am now. Still far from great. Still far from the musician I'm trying to get to. I would bring my bass to those services. I'd try to sit there, figure it out, and I kept saying to them like, listen, all you have to do is give me like, tell me what note you're in, and I'll figure it out. Or if you can, just shout the numbers out to me. And when Victor said, yeah, it's good to play, you practice in front of you're in front of your computer, or you're learning from a book, it's all good, but you need to play to people. For me, it has been terribly difficult to do so because one, here, people don't want to play with you unless you're good. Unless you can like jam and like really have some licks in your pocket and like do some crazy stuff, people don't want to play with you. You understand what I'm saying? I've met musicians who I've, spoke about a few things and then I've reached out and never heard back from them. You understand what I'm saying? People here are selfish. and that's the sad truth, right? I have musician friends, but everybody's busy as well. And as I'm saying, like, people don't want to play it. Like, people don't want to play with you unless you're good. I have met a few musicians. A very good friend of mine, he's actually the reason why I played a gig for almost a year, ending about maybe early last year, because we talk, he knows I was learning and whatever, and he had a gig and opening for bass, and I started, it wasn't even paying, but I'm like, listen, I'll do it. He asked me if I want to do it. I said, yeah, I'll do it, because I know that for me, that's something to look forward to. I'm in a live session. I'm hearing the things that I may be practicing at home play out. I can say, all right, this works, this doesn't work. Or after that service, I'm like, all right, I need to work on this, and this, because it helps direct me. It helps, it can also help you by playing with people to target your learning much better. So you're not just on this whole YouTube, circus or like circle or whatever, trying to figure out what to learn, or you start learning this, but then you see a video of how to do something completely opposite to what you should be learning. But in a live session, playing with people, it allows for much more targeted learning and practice too. Therefore, your practice becomes more intentional. Your practice becomes even more fun, because you're going to apply that the next time you get to play. But I didn't have that. It's not until recently I'm getting to play a bit more in church. Our drummer is still not where I personally would want him to be, because the faster songs he can't really, but he's coming up. I'm just looking forward to it, just, to never touching that drum again. But yeah, also a very good example. About a week ago, a musician friend of mine, she plays keys. She's, lead keys. And long story short, she called me because the bass player that they had for that service for that weekend couldn't make it that one night. And she asked me to fill in, and I did. I was happy to, because that's the opportunity. And because of that opportunity, now I always had an issue with my feel of how to play shout music. Like, for some reason, I couldn't lock down the feel. But after that service, I left it with I understand it now mindset. I now understand shout. At least how I should be playing it is more of eighth notes instead of 16th or that sort of an off timing that I've been somehow having. I now have a better feeling. So now my practice is targeted, right? I can now pull up my metronome, add the appropriate subdivisions, and my practice is now more targeted to getting better and having that feel of getting the eighth notes and having that feel. So even at 160, I know how to subdivide 160 BPM, those 4 beats per bar, into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and get that timing and feel so I can play shout accordingly. Overall, practice is, it's I don't know about other musicians, but for sometimes I'm like I would like to just osmosis the music or osmosis the playing, where I could listen and I'm instantly good or I instantly know what to play. But of course, that's not how it works. Practice makes perfect, or as somebody else says, practice makes permanent. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not a fan of practicing, but we have to do it. If we want to get better, if we want to get to those heights, if we want to get higher, if we want to be able to jam with other people and just be in church and be used by God, because you don't have to think about those fundamentals because you've practiced them already. Then we have to do it. Now, mind you, this is something I'm gonna have to work on as well. I don't know about you, but I need to work on my mindset for practicing. There's also so much other things I'm trying to do all at once. So sometimes my head is just not there, but that's on me. It's all about discipline, and I'm gonna try and work on it. I hope you work on it too if you're not practicing. As a matter of fact, you should be practicing right now. Right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope something in there spoke to you. I hope you can take something from this, because when Victor said those words, I was like, Vic, it's so easy for you because you've had people to play with from here too. All of Victor's brothers play an instrument. I think it's like 4 of them, and all of them play an instrument. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, Vic, you have it easy, But at the end of the day, practice. I've even said it too, that it's good to practice for the eventually, or when you get that call where just to be prepared. I can tell you from personal experience, it feels like it's for naught, because sometimes I'll learn a song and I'll never play that song again for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months maybe. So all that learning it's just gone. But we have to practice. If we want to get better, we have to practice. So again, in closing, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you go and practice, because you should be practicing. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next video. I hope you enjoy this. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, peace.